Yo, what's up guys, VENM Fire here, back in the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another offensive scheme. Today we're going to be running the gun trips tight end offset, and this is one I had in my Jets ebook. If you guys watched that, you have a lot of the written setups for this video, but we're going to be posting some more stuff. Obviously, when you're running the ebook, it's like an hour long. You're trying to go through these things as fast as possible, so I'm not explaining everything that I can, but of course, that's why we got this video today. This might be a scheme that I run in an online game as well, so let me know if you guys would want to see that as well. Now, Jets playbook, this formation is in a ton of different playbooks as well, so, feel free to do those. Now, when you're hopping into your audibles, you have a lot of terrible plays. I do like the RPO alert bubble, so we're going to keep that, but for the rest of them, I actually keep PA crossers. We're going to replace the rest. I like X under, and then I also like tight end in. So those are going to be our two plays. You can also go level sail. That plays very good as well, which we will be talking about. But I'm actually going to start out with the run plays. Now, there is no read option. There's a regular inside zone you see in the middle there, but no read option out of this particular playbook. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. Now, usually when running trips, you're going to make a decision depending on which play, if you're going to be on the wide side or the short side. In this case, we're going to be on the wide side of the field. And with this, we like to spread it out, especially for inside zone. You want the most space to where you can read the hole, decide where you're going. Now, I like the RPO alert bubble because it's going to pull over one of those players. When you run a normal inside zone, Ridley may block this guy, but with this RPO, you can either throw it to him, or you can, now it helps if Christian Kirk blocks, but you either throw it to him or he's a really good distraction, both for the user and for the players, depending on if they chase. Now, does Christian Kirk want to block? Yes or no? We'll see. We'll just hand it off. Now, also something you notice there is if you do end up handing it off, I didn't mean to hurdle, but if you do hand it off, Ridley ends up being a blocker, which is pretty cool. So you hand it off, and you see he actually ends up picking up a block over here and helping us get like 5-6 yards. So that is something that I found cool. I'm not sure when you're supposed to throw that. Maybe it's the formation. I'm actually going to see it right now because otherwise I don't want to put this in the video. But I don't know why he can't block. We're going to try it against like a 3-4 where it's an easier block assignment for him. And we'll see what happens here. So now he blocks. So this is ideally what it looks like. Generally, he should block against nickel. I'm not sure why he isn't, but we'll just show the running against this play. Really the same thing. You're just going to read that linebacker. Now, sometimes you'll get bad animations that happens, but really you're just going to read that linebacker, see what he does. And I'm talking about this guy that I have my mic on right here. Sometimes he'll follow. That could be the user, so don't just continue to throw it just because he's not defending it. Make sure you read it on a play-to-play basis because he could hop on that guy. He could user it. I've seen people hop on this guy, try and jump it, which you could definitely do. But if he doesn't, then you can run the football. Now, we're not going to be running the ball great against the 3-4. I am going to switch back to the nickel, which is a more realistic look on what you would face because not only is this a good running formation, but we can pass the ball very effectively out of it. Usually I will be passing more than I will be running. So they're going to need something that can be a good against the pass and the run. You'll mainly see this. So if you run the ball, this can be a very good formation. Even if they get sheds, typically you can pick up 5 yards because these are all one-on-ones that you should be able to go down. Now, if you want that guy blocked, you can, of course, go to a regular inside zone. I may show that, but you can also be patient, bounce things over, make a little move. So patience is going to be key just depending on the level of your offensive line. And again, you can still throw it. You don't have to press A to hand off. Just hand them off automatically if you're not going to pass the ball. So there you have that. But again, that guy's not going to do us any favors to where if we go to a regular inside zone here, he would be blocked. So it just depends. If that guy's using the linebacker, which he usually is, then I would probably just go RPO alert bubble because if he defends the pass, you'll run the ball and it'll be wide open. Versus the way he's playing it here, me trying to run the ball and him playing the run, it's never going to work too well. But if we go inside zone, now he's blocked. Now we can go to the outside. And this is kind of what it would look like if he were to defend the pass. So if he's defending the bubble, this is kind of what would happen. And you see we're having a lot of success and we just have a lot of space Even if he tackles us with the first available player, it's 7+ yards. So with that being said, let's hop into some of the passing plays. Now, I'm going to start out with tight end in. I don't have the most setups for this play, but you can do a couple of cool things. Now, the first setup that I like is just go with B on a little flat here. Then I'll go with Y on like a backside drag, or X on a backside drag. It's dealer's choice. So we'll flat B, drag X, and then I'll just motion this guy over. We're trying to open up ETN. This play may be a little bit better from the other hash mark, but against match coverage, that gets wide open. So if it's a cover 4, if it's man coverage, the wheel should cook. Now, I realized I'm in match. I like that look better where it's only one zone because it's going to be a user, but for video's sake, I will go ahead and switch to a regular cover 3 so you guys get a little bit of a better idea how these things work against the zone. Again, also, if you want to pick up that Jets written ebook, it's in the description of that video. It will have all the written setups pretty much for this video as well. So you can get the written setups for this scheme in that Jets full ebook, as well as everything for bunch tight end, and every other tight offset tight end formation that's in there. So this setup, it's very solid. You can set it up relatively quickly. You could hit Calvin Ridley over there. Timing wise, you want to throw it earlier, especially if you're on the wide side of the field. If you're on short side, of course, that leaves more room for the running back to run that route. So take advantage of that. As far as some of the other things you could do with it, I don't have the most setups for it, but maybe you want to go with something like this on the back end. You definitely could. You could flat. Maybe we go, I didn't mean to audible, but you could drag A. Can I audible? Drag A. You could put Y on like a zig, put X on a deep in route, or maybe you just streak Y over here. You could do something like this and have success. Just mixing it up, create a little under concept. And again, Ingram's going to be really open on every single snap. You could hit him, late play, rolling out to the right. You can hit that in route on the back end or hit that wheel route on the sidelines. Next play is going to be X under. With this play, you're going to take advantage of Christian Kirk. I love his route. Immediately against cover 3, the one way to beat it would just be to streak X, and he would, of course, get over the top. Now we get a... I don't know why it always says low throw. I'm like not even holding left trigger. We'll try that again here. I just have to exaggerate, I guess, just because of the way I hold my controller. I always have my index finger on the left trigger. I just have it over it. That's the way you hold the controller. So I just need to stop doing that. It feels weird, but I'm not trying to get those stupid overthrows. Now, with Calvin Ridley, I love this route, but obviously that linebacker is going to be an issue. If it's usered, he can definitely get open, but you're going to have to account for that in some kind of a capacity because he's going to be in the way. So you could go A on a drag over here. This has potential to pull him down, which you see happens right there. Now, again, window-wise, you probably still want to throw it earlier rather than later. He can get open on the sideline, but without a clear out, the cover 3 zone should be pretty good against that. You could also go wheel route over here. This should pull some of the zones towards the outside. I keep the streak, so I'm always going to have Christian Kirk over here. But this is going to be kind of your window, almost throwing it more as a seam route. Now, if you want to open it up against a traditional cover 3, what you could do is, and this would be more of a man coverage setup, by the way, but you could go with some kind of a route on the back end. Maybe we go with like a drag on the back end. You have corner route, you have deep over, maybe I block the running back in this case, or you could go out route going to the other side, and this would open up Ridley short side. Now, he might even still not get open, so you almost probably have to motion over a streak, actually, if you're going to that setup. So we'll run that again, and then I'll just drag A, and we'll put RB on like an out route. So you could go with something like this. And this would be a good setup. You could block any of those players if you need the extra protection, but throw them like right here, and now you have more space to actually complete it. You could probably actually possession catch that, or maybe even low pass from there. I guess they can't catch low passes, but he's a solid route. He's going to get open against man coverage, against zone. It's going to be tricky to open him up, but he should work against the cover 2 as well. Now, the rest of the setups that you can do is you can actually incorporate some kind of motion with these guys. So you could go with just a complete flood concept over here, work the sidelines. If he's defending the middle of the field crazily, you have Ridley over here. He's going to do a really good job of pulling down the zone. So you don't want to throw it late the way I did there. You want to throw it a little bit earlier. And if you have the protection, you have the time, Christian Kirk is going to get a lot more open on this. You just have to wait for him to like run his route. Now, that may not be the best way to do things, but it's kind of the necessary thing you have to do just to open them up. Now, some of the things that I'll do to stretch the field is maybe I'll go with like a backside slant over here. You can actually motion snap this guy, I believe, right here. So you go with like a little slant concept. He runs into a really good spot when he's like offset when he runs the slant versus actually being in a set position. So that's something I like to do. You could also kind of throw him on the back end, or you could just throw B on the slant here. You can keep the in route, you can go streak. So there are different things that you can do. The spacing still works, so definitely take advantage of this X under play. Another thing you can do out of X under is turn the corner out into a post. Now this doesn't work too great, but it can. So maybe we drag B, we keep that backside dig, and then you can hit him right here. Now we got hit, but you could see kind of the window that you can throw him almost by that hash mark, a little bit before that hash mark. So very solid play in X under. And now we're moving on to PA crossers, which is going to be probably be the best play that we run. PA crossers is always good. You just really have to set it up well. Now there's a couple of interesting routes. Obviously Ridley's the main guy, but you also have Y that could sit in a decent spot against zone coverage if you're able to complete it. You see there, he actually gets in a decent spot. He's okay against man, not going to be great. So he doesn't draw the most attention and he can get over there. Now X is not really useful. So this is kind of the guy where you're able to hot route around, build this play around. We could go with like a backside drag. We could also motion that route in. So you could streak A, or what I like to do out of this play is incorporate some kind of a wheel route concept. I always love doing these. And you could throw Y on the drag still. So something like this, just basic. And a lot of times with the crosser, you're trying to throw him in like that window. So this is why having this play short side is usually what ends up working a little bit better, just to give you more space to throw that crosser before it hits the sidelines, because they're not really as good this year at doing that. So maybe we go A on like a backside in. We keep that route, and then we just throw Zay Jones over here on a out route. So something like this could definitely work. You're going to open up RB. You can definitely motion snap him. I just didn't do it there, but this is going to open up Ridley in this window. Obviously, ETN was open early. Now the concern there is going to be pretty obvious. It's going to be the ability to use the wheel and then go to the other route. So you can, of course, go with the simple concept of like a deep in route with him, drag Kirk, then you could block your running back, honestly, or you could throw him going to the other side. This is a really good setup against man coverage. And this is going to open up Kirk or Ridley in this window. Again, another bad pass. I just need to turn on perfect passing because these are annoying. But you do that. Again, you can incorporate some kind of motion type action. So we could motion over Zay Jones, throw him on like a little zig. You're going to want to snap him a little bit early, right about here. And he's going to do a good job of just opening up, especially the sidelines, if you want to throw that. So you can hit Ridley over there. Some of the other things that we can go ahead and do are motioning over this guy, kind of turning him into a deeper corner route if you're able to. So you can motion him over, go with something like this, and now you have a deeper corner route. You could block Ridley, but he's going to pull up the zones, open up Ridley in that little slot, or you could just block Ridley, and if it's man coverage, he should get open on that. So maybe we just go with something like this. With the deep corner out, you open it up. You have a little zig, a little in route. You could block ETN again, but he does a good job of pulling down zones. And now you can hit Zay Jones, and he's wide open against cover 3, wide open against cover 2, wide open against cover 4, and he would beat man coverage. Just get a good receiver there, get your Hester, get your Chad Johnson in that particular spot. But that's pretty much going to do it. Actually, it's not pretty much going to do it because we want to hop in level sail real quick. Now, level sail is not a play that I run too often. It's kind of a bot play. No. You know, it's mid, but it could be used. As far as this play goes, what you're going to want to do is just kind of set up a quick snap concept. We'll streak over here, try and hit him in the seam, which you can do there. You don't have to, I didn't mean to low ball again. I'm like I don't even understand how I'm holding it, but it would be a little bit easier if you just threw it like that. And there you actually have an opportunity to almost take it to the house. So if he is playing heavy cover 3, you're able to throw it over the top of zones. If it's cover 2, maybe you can even split it down the middle. Be careful, though, because you can throw interceptions that way. Some of the other things I'll do is go with like backside drags with this guy. Again, you see we motion over Zay Jones in a lot of these plays, so it's not really giving up stuff. Now, the corner out, table route concept is just not as good as it used to be. So obviously we have a window to throw these guys, but they play it really well. You have to throw it really early, almost as a seam route. Throw it on break if you're going to throw this corner out. So what I mean by that is you're going to throw it like right here. That was even a little bit too late. So you really have to throw it at a good time. And this play is just not too amazing, honestly. So that's pretty much going to do the video. If you guys enjoyed, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.